A struggling woman shares a kiss with a wealthy man in front of his family at the airport. Upon uncovering the truth, he expresses his gratitude, bowing in reverence. Hello, I'm Alejandro, and I invite you to join me at Historia Sin Filtro. Prepare yourself for a thrilling tale that will astonish you. I have some wonderful news to share. The members area is officially open for access. Join us and become a part of the channel community. In this manner, I will fully commit to realizing my YouTube aspirations, focusing on delivering increasingly captivating stories for you. The names of the members are prominently displayed at the start of the videos. Gain entry to a space featuring unique videos and a more personal connection with me. Delight in the video, and may divine blessings be upon you and your loved ones. Wishing you a wonderful day ahead. The bustling international airport was alive with energy that afternoon. Amidst the throng, Mariana navigated with a hesitant stride, her tattered shoes standing out against the gleaming surface beneath her. Her attire, while tidy, spoke volumes about her modest circumstances. In her grasp, she clutched a tiny, creased piece of paper that she frequently examined, as though she dreaded the possibility of the words inscribed upon it vanishing into thin air. A short distance away, a gathering of stylishly attired individuals encircled Pablo Riveros, the nation's most prominent entrepreneur. His flawless suit and refined demeanor drew looks of admiration and intrigue. His family, his wife Beatriz, his brother Miguel, and his children Felipe and Ana, observed him intently as they deliberated over the particulars of his upcoming business trip. Mariana observed them from a distance, her heart racing with each passing moment. After a long period of anticipation, she finally mustered the courage to take the step she needed to take. Her hands shook as she went over the phrases she had practiced countless times in her mind. It was a moment of urgency, she realized, as she moved ahead. The events that followed appeared to progress at a leisurely pace. Mariana approached the group with purposeful strides, closing the gap between them. The bodyguards, momentarily caught off guard, failed to respond as she pivoted sharply towards Pablo. Before the wide-eyed audience, Mariana cupped Pablo's face in her hands and pressed her lips against his. A fleeting yet powerful kiss that felt as though it halted the very passage of time. Chaos erupted in an instant. The bodyguards departed suddenly as Beatriz cried out in outrage. The children observed the scene, their expressions a blend of astonishment and bewilderment. Miguel was already on the phone, likely contacting security, but it was Pablo's response that took everyone by surprise. Amidst the chaos, his face shifted from astonishment to acknowledgement, and then to a more profound, intricate emotion. His gaze was locked onto the paper that Mariana clutched in her quivering hand. "Stop," he commanded, his voice steady and authoritative, halting the bodyguards who were attempting to seize Mariana. "I am familiar with her." The hush enveloped the gathering, descending like a thick veil. Beatriz gazed at her husband in astonishment, as the others remained silent, eagerly anticipating an explanation. Mariana, constrained by the bodyguards, gazed upward at Pablo. As their gazes locked, a narrative long hidden in the shadows of time started to unfold. A tale that would transform the lives of all those present in ways beyond anyone's wildest dreams. "Release her," Pablo commanded, his voice quivering just a bit. She rescued me from the brink." The hush in the VIP room of the airport was overwhelming. Pablo was adamant about bringing everyone to that secluded spot, away from prying eyes and the ever-present cameras capturing the moment. Mariana, perched in an elegant leather armchair, appeared incongruous in her simple dress, her calloused hands restlessly toying with the crumpled paper. Beatriz strolled back and forth, the sound of her heels echoing on the marble floor. In a quiet corner, Felipe and Ana huddled together, their whispers barely audible as they observed the unfolding scene with wide, inquisitive eyes. Miguel stood by the door, a silent sentinel, as though he dreaded that Mariana would attempt to flee. "I need you to explain this to me immediately, Pablo," Beatriz insisted, halting her movement to confront her husband. "How is it that this woman claims she rescued you from peril?" Pablo swept his hand across his face, a movement that laid bare the burden of the secrets he had harbored for ages. He moved toward the window, observing the planes as they ascended and descended in the far-off horizon. It happened ages ago. It started, her voice a mere murmur. Prior to all of this, prior to achievement, prior to becoming who we are today. Mariana finally found her voice, gentle yet resolute. I spent my days in a quaint coffee shop nestled on the fringes of the city. The space was unpretentious yet tidy. Our primary clientele consisted of employees from the local factories. Pablo settled into his seat, directing his gaze toward her. Everything had just slipped away from me. My initial venture ended in a spectacular failure. Debt was suffocating me. I was being pursued by my creditors. Hope had slipped away from me. I recall it as though it happened just yesterday, Mariana said, her gaze drifting into memories. She stepped inside, drenched by the downpour, her eyes reflecting the emptiness of someone who had reached the depths. She settled into the most distant table and requested a coffee. The most bitter coffee I have ever tasted, Pablo remarked with a wistful smile, yet it was the finest coffee of my life. Beatriz sank into a chair, her initial frustration transforming into intrigue. What transpired on that fateful evening? Mariana responded, I saw something in her eyes. A chilling experience that left me unsettled. I have witnessed that expression previously, in my father, the day that. Her voice faltered for a brief moment. The moment she chose to end it all. The stillness in the room grew more profound. Even the little ones ceased their hushed murmurs. After she completed her coffee, she abandoned an item on the table. There were no funds available to settle the bill. A letter it was. Mariana carefully opened the creased paper she had been clutching. This correspondence. Pablo drew closer, his hands quivering ever so slightly as he realized the letter was his own. A note of farewell. After he departed, I took the time to read it, Mariana continued. It became clear to me that action was necessary. I couldn't allow another father, another person, to surrender in this way. I trailed behind him through the downpour. He discovered me on the bridge. Pablo embraced the narrative's release, his voice brimming with feeling. I found myself at the precipice, gazing into the shadowy depths beneath. The sound of the river overwhelmed my mind, silencing my worries, my anxieties, my shortcomings. I yelled at him, Mariana said, her voice trembling as silent tears streamed down his cheeks. I mentioned that a cup of hot chocolate awaited him in the cafeteria, and that I simply couldn't depart without savoring my grandmother's chocolate. Miguel, having kept his silence up to that moment, stepped forward. A delightful chocolate. Did you rescue him with the allure of a chocolate treat? It wasn't the chocolate, Pablo said, a true smile brightening his face for the first time. His voice resonated with a significance that felt profound, as though every word he uttered held weight, as if my existence truly mattered, as if the world would suffer a great loss should I vanish. Mariana shared that she remained by his side throughout the night. Our conversation stretched on for hours. He shared with me his aspirations, his anxieties. I shared with him the story of my father, how his leaving shattered our family. I extracted a promise from him that I would endure for just one more day, only one more day. And that day stretched into a week, then a month, Pablo continued. Mariana secured me a position in the cafeteria, where I'm tasked with washing dishes. She assisted me in reconstructing my existence from the ground up. Beatriz rose gradually, making her way toward her husband. What made you keep this from me? Regret, I guess. I aimed to move on from that chapter of my life, and when I mustered the bravery to seek out Mariana and express my gratitude, the cafeteria was shut. No one had any idea of my whereabouts. Mariana retrieved another piece of paper from her bag, this one appearing more pristine. The cafeteria had already closed by the time my mother fell ill. We were compelled to part with all our possessions to cover her treatments. For years, I became disconnected from the outside world, dedicating myself to her care. It was just the other day, when I stumbled upon her photo in the newspaper, that I realized who had transformed into that bitter coffee man. What about the kiss? Anna inquired, her youthful voice cutting through the heaviness of the atmosphere for the first time. Mariana beamed with joy. I apologize for that. I had to capture her focus. I realized that if I attempted to approach her in a typical manner, her bodyguards would prevent me from doing so. I had to catch a glimpse of her just once more. Once more, perhaps. Pablo scowled. Could you clarify what you mean? Mariana's hands quivered as she reached out with the second piece of paper. A medical diagnosis was made. The very illness that claimed my mother. The doctors warned that without the appropriate treatment, her voice would be lost forever. No, Pablo interjected with conviction. This certainly won't be the final occurrence. I refuse to allow the one who rescued me to surrender without a struggle. He lowered himself before Mariana, clasping her hands in his, as his family looked on in disbelief. You granted me another day when I believed hope had vanished. Now it's my moment to provide you with all the time you require to triumph in this struggle. Beatriz drew near, resting a hand gently on Mariana's shoulder. You will have company in this journey. Felipe and Ana dashed over to embrace Mariana, while Miguel pulled out his phone, eagerly searching for the top specialists. In that instant, within the confines of the airport room, the circle completed itself. The woman who once rescued a troubled soul with a cup of chocolate and the hope of a brighter tomorrow discovered her own redemption in the man he had transformed into. This was more than a mere tale of settled debts or reciprocated favors. It marked the dawn of a grander, more profound journey. A second chance for everyone involved, a reminder that even the smallest acts of kindness can alter the trajectory of countless lives. The Riveros mansion stood as a symbol of achievement and luxury, featuring meticulously maintained gardens and windows that soared towards the heavens. For Mariana, now settled into one of the guest rooms, every day became a lesson in adjustment. Her hands, accustomed to toil, delicately glided over the exquisite furniture and the luxurious silk sheets. Pablo's choice to bring Mariana into his home was swift and resolute. He insisted on being near the hospital and the finest doctors. Beatriz, though initially hesitant, had acquiesced, driven more by gratitude than by true belief. Nevertheless, the shift proved to be challenging for all involved. The initial weeks unfolded as an awkward ballet of obligatory pleasantries and strained quietude. The servants murmured softly in the dimly lit corridors, their voices laced with curiosity as they pondered the enigmatic bond shared by the lord of the manor and the elusive visitor. One morning, as Mariana sat on the terrace taking her medication, Beatriz came over, carrying 2 cups of coffee. I can't help but notice that you seem to enjoy being out here, Beatriz remarked, extending one of the cups towards her. Mariana wore a wistful smile. The fresh air evokes memories of my past existence. At times, the sheer magnificence of it all can be quite overpowering. Do you long for it? The life you lived before, I mean. Some aspects of it, Mariana responded, her gaze drifting toward the horizon. Essentially, it's about simplicity. Understanding precisely your identity and your role in the world. Beatriz nodded, her comprehension running deeper than she let on. When Pablo shared his journey with me, detailing how he transformed into the person he is now, I couldn't shake the feeling that some pieces were left out. At last, clarity has dawned upon me. Mariana remarked that he is a good man. He remained that way even in times of emptiness. That's what frightens me, Beatriz remarked. His voice was little more than a murmur. The manner in which you are familiar with him. A facet of him that will remain a mystery to me. The quiet that ensued was broken by the cheerful laughter of Felipe and Ana, who were joyfully playing in the garden. The children, in contrast to the adults, embraced Mariana wholeheartedly, captivated by her tales from the coffee shop and her uncomplicated perspective on life. Beatriz, Mariana said, pivoting to meet Pablo's wife's gaze. That night at the coffee shop held significance, without a doubt. What you and Pablo have created together is the essence of his true existence. I was merely a fleeting presence in his narrative. A moment that saved him, Beatrice remarked. To rescue another, one must first desire their own salvation. Pablo made the decision to live, he made the decision to fight, and then he made the decision to choose you. Mariana's words appeared to lift a weight from Beatrice. She felt a subtle easing of the tension in her shoulders. Yet, the tranquility of the morning was shattered by Miguel, who rushed to the terrace. The results of the latest tests have arrived, he declared, gripping an envelope tightly in his hands. His expression defied description. Mariana grasped the envelope with quivering fingers. The final evaluations would reveal whether the costly treatment was effective. Beatrice, caught off guard, grasped Mariana's hand as she perused the results. Before words could escape Mariana's lips, tears started to stream down her cheeks. The treatment failed to deliver the anticipated results. The illness was progressing more rapidly than anticipated. I need to be alone, murmured Mariana, rising suddenly and making her way to her room. Beatrice observed her departure, a tightness constricting her throat. Even though she felt a surge of jealousy and uncertainty at first, witnessing Mariana battle the same illness that had claimed her mother stirred a deep compassion within her that she had never realized she had. What are our next steps? Inquired Miguel, his tone laced with worry. Get in touch with Pablo Ciru, Beatrice instructed decisively, and reach out to any specialist you might know. We will persevere. In her room, Mariana perched on the edge of the bed, cradling an aged photograph. A young Mariana beamed beside her mother in front of the cafeteria. The recollection of that period, of her mother's battle with the same illness, pressed down on her like a heavy stone. Mom, she murmured to the photograph, what gave you the courage to persevere for so many years? A gentle rap on the door broke the silence of her contemplation. Ana, the youngest daughter of Pablo, held a drawing in her hands. Text, I did this to you, said the girl, extending the paper. Miguel, this is your cafeteria. My father shared his perspective on the matter. Mariana grasped the drawing, touched by the innocent strokes that depicted a location that had held great significance in her life. A cheerful figure in the illustration offered cups of chocolate to delighted individuals. Have you ever considered what makes hot chocolate so delightful? Ana inquired, perched beside Mariana. Excuse me. It has the power to uplift your spirits, regardless of how dire the situation may seem. The pure and simple words of the girl hit Mariana with an unforeseen intensity. She recalled that rainy night, when a small act, a cup of chocolate, and the hope of a new dawn had been sufficient to alter the course of a man's life. Perhaps, Mariana mused, the essence of her resolve lay not in solitary struggle, but in the willingness to invite others to join the battle alongside her. In his office located in the bustling city center, Pablo answered a call from Beatrice. Upon hearing the news about the results, his expression darkened. Yet, rather than the hopelessness that had previously driven him to the brink of a bridge, he now experienced a powerful resolve blossoming within him. The assistant was instructed to book the private jet. Let's explore the finest treatment options, no matter where they may be found. Mariana's struggle was just beginning, and this time she would have company. The unexpected family that had gathered around her was ready to battle with unwavering determination. At times, second chances extend beyond the individual, reaching out to all the lives we influence throughout our journey. The chill of the private clinic stood in stark contrast to the warmth of humanity radiating from the group assembled in the waiting room. Pablo strolled from one side to the other as Beatrice clasped Mariana's hand. Felipe and Ana remained at home, looked after by Miguel, who was determined to shield them from the current strain of the situation. The day had arrived to embark on the new experimental treatment, a milestone Pablo had reached after relentless effort, reaching out to specialists from every corner of the globe. The expense was staggering, yet for him, who had once teetered on the brink of despair, no cost was too great for a chance at life. Mrs. Mariana summoned the nurse from the threshold. Nizora. Just as Mariana was about to rise, the main door of the clinic swung open unexpectedly. An elderly woman hurried inside, her visage etched with the lines of toil and concern accumulated over the years. "Rosa!" Mariana gasped, her eyes widening as she recognized the former cafeteria cook. "In what way?" "Miguel discovered me," Rosa said, moving closer to embrace Mariana. "He revealed all the details to me. I couldn't allow you to face this by yourself, my dear." Rosa's presence stirred a flood of recollections. She was the one who had shared the recipe for the special chocolate with Mariana, who had stood by her side during her mother's illness, who had been present in the darkest moments. "I can still recall the moment this young woman started working in my kitchen," Rosa remarked, speaking to Pablo and Beatriz. Though she struggled to reach the high shelves, a rare strength resided in her heart that few could claim. Beatriz observed the way Pablo's gaze became tender as he listened to tales of Mariana's history. His gaze held a certain intensity as it fell upon her. It lacked the essence of romantic love. It was an essence, something more profound at its core. It was the acknowledgement between two spirits that had reached the depths and discovered the resilience to ascend. Rosa's arrival appeared to usher in a shift in the ambience. As Mariana was escorted to the treatment room, the former cook started to recount more tales about the cafeteria, vividly illustrating those simpler times. Rosa recalled that there was an undeniable magic in that place. It was more than merely a cafeteria. It served as a sanctuary for wandering spirits. Mariana possessed an extraordinary ability to see the sorrow reflected in the eyes of those around her. Pablo whispered, "It wasn't the only occasion," Rosa disclosed. "Others have come and gone, both prior to your arrival and since. Individuals teetering on the brink who discovered a purpose to continue through a warm cup of cocoa and a gentle word." Beatriz, who had remained quiet, sensed a stirring within her. What was the reason behind her decision to close the cafeteria? Rosa's face appeared blurred. It was following the time when Mariana's mother fell ill. As medical costs piled up, she liquidated all her possessions to cover the treatments. That still fell short. What stopped her from seeking assistance? Pablo inquired, her voice tinged with unmistakable guilt. "She made an effort," Rosa responded, "yet by that time, you had already left. No one had a way to reach you, and she was far too proud to ask for help." Time dragged on as they anxiously awaited updates on the treatment. Rosa recounted a tapestry of tales, some filled with joy, others tinged with sorrow, each one contributing to a richer understanding of Mariana's true essence. Rosa finally spoke up, her tone shifting to one of gravity. There was a secret that even Mariana was unaware of. Pablo and Beatriz leaned in, captivated by the unfolding scene. The night that transformed Pablo's fate was no mere coincidence, he was toiling away until the late hours. He had been watching him for days, seeing how his sorrow was deepening. His mother, already unwell, was the one who urged him to remain until late that night. Was his mother aware? Pablo inquired, taken aback. She possessed the same ability as Mariana to perceive the suffering in others. She remarked, "Rosa, that man requires assistance and my daughter is the sole person capable of providing it." It was the final moment I witnessed her clarity before the illness took over entirely. The realization washed over Pablo like a tidal surge. Throughout the years, he had believed that his encounter with Mariana was merely coincidental, a fortunate twist in his bleakest hour. The realization that he had been watched, that someone had recognized his suffering and dispatched a guardian angel to rescue him, stirred profound emotions within him. Beatriz, noticing her husband's response, gently grasped his hand. "Perhaps this is the reason we find ourselves here now, to reciprocate that care, that concern." Just as they were beginning to grasp the weight of this revelation, the door to the treatment room swung open. Mariana emerged in a wheelchair, her complexion pale yet her smile bright. "The nurse informed you that the doctor wishes to speak with you." Pablo and Beatriz sprang to their feet without delay, yet it was Rosa who broke the silence first. "Hold on, there's an additional detail you need to be aware of." All eyes were drawn to the elderly chef. "Before her passing, Mariana's mother extracted a promise from me. She insisted that I promise her that if her daughter ever encountered the same illness, I would ensure she reached out to Pablo. She sensed, in a way that was almost instinctual, that he would play a significant role in Mariana's future. "But it wasn't you who found me," Mariana said, her voice weak yet unmistakably clear. "I have discovered you, Pablo." Or perhaps, Beatrice interjected, everything was destined to unfold like this. Perhaps certain life debts require generations to settle. The doctor stood at the threshold, his expression beyond words, as Pablo and Beatrice made their way to the meeting. Meanwhile, Rosa drew near to Mariana, retrieving something from her bag. "I discovered this in the back of the cafeteria," she remarked, handing him a yellow envelope. "It was penned by your mother on the night Pablo made his first visit. It's time for you to dive into it." Mariana grasped the envelope with quivering fingers, yet just as she was about to unveil its contents, a raspy scream from Beatrice seized the focus of the crowd. The doctor wore a smile, while Pablo knelt, tears streaming down his cheeks. The treatment was proving effective, and furthermore, the initial results indicated a significantly more favorable response than anticipated. Amidst the joy and relief, Mariana gazed at the envelope in her hands, pondering the secrets of her past and how the threads of fate had woven this intricate tapestry of second chances and redemption. The struggle continued, yet for the first time since her diagnosis, Mariana sensed that hope was no longer a mere fantasy, but an attainable reality. As Rosa held her close, and Pablo and Beatriz relayed the joyful news to Miguel and the kids over the phone, she felt a profound awareness that her mother had been subtly steering her path all along. The envelope she held hinted at deeper truths, additional fragments of the intricate puzzle that constituted her existence. In this moment of triumph, Mariana permitted herself to fully inhabit the present, enveloped by the warmth of this makeshift family that destiny, or maybe her mother, had bestowed upon her. The mansion's garden glimmered in the warm glow of the sunset, as Mariana perched on a bench encircled by blooming roses, clutching the yellow envelope in her quivering hands. She had held off for several days to unveil it, cherishing it like a valuable gem, until she felt ready to confront what lay within. Rosa settled beside her, a quiet reassurance enveloping Mariana in the comfort she sought. Beatriz, having cultivated a nurturing instinct towards Mariana in recent weeks, maintained a respectful distance, watching from the terrace. "It's as though her essence lingers within this envelope," Mariana whispered, tracing her fingers along the frayed edges. "Your mother was always a woman of great wisdom," Rosa replied gently. "I perceived realities that eluded the others." With a heavy breath, Mariana at last unsealed the envelope. The letter from her mother, graceful even in the face of the illness that ravaged her, spanned several pages. She started to read aloud, her voice quivering with every word. "My beloved Mariana, should you find yourself perusing these words, it signifies that time has intricately spun its tapestry, just as I envisioned in my reveries. There are countless thoughts I long to share with you, a multitude of secrets I've held close for your benefit. This evening, a man made his way into our cafeteria. His eyes reflected the same sorrow that I witnessed in your father before he departed from our lives. Yet within him, I perceived something different. I envisioned a future woven together with yours, though perhaps not in the manner you might expect. I realize I requested you to remain until late today, and now the reason is clear. Pablo was in dire need of a guardian angel, and you, my dear, have always possessed the extraordinary ability to mend shattered spirits. However, there is a wealth of additional information that you must uncover. The affliction that now engulfs me is more than just a harsh twist of destiny. It is woven into the fabric of our family narrative, a lingering presence that has followed the women of our lineage through the ages. What remains hidden from you is a glimmer of hope, one that I unearthed only after it was too late for my own sake. Through my investigation, I discovered studies on a groundbreaking treatment, one that has the potential to transform everything. However, the expense was staggering, far beyond what we could manage. This evening, as I observed Pablo, a vision emerged, vivid and transparent like crystal-clear water. I observed your destiny woven together with his, not for the sake of romantic affection, but for a connection that runs much deeper. It struck me that preserving his existence would resemble casting a stone into still waters. The waves would stretch far beyond our wildest dreams. He will come back into your life at the moment you need him the most, carrying the hope that eluded me. And when that moment arrives, my dear, do not hesitate to embrace his assistance. What awaits you is not mere charity, but the chance to complete a journey that commenced this evening. Our family history holds countless pages that I have yet to share with you. In the attic of the cafeteria, I concealed a diary that once belonged to your grandmother. Within these pages lies the revelation of our affliction and the reasons it uniquely impacts the women in our lineage. Mariana paused, her hands trembling too violently to carry on with the reading. With tears glistening in her eyes, Rosa embraced her tightly. "Is it the cafeteria?" Mariana murmured. "It has been sold." All was gone. "Not everything," Pablo interjected, having been quietly observing from the shadows. "I purchased the cafeteria weeks ago upon learning about your illness. It remains just as they abandoned it." Mariana gazed at him in astonishment as Beatriz drew near with a knowing smile. She explained that they had planned to surprise her when you were feeling stronger. "The journal," Mariana began. Pablo confirmed that it is safe. "Miguel discovered it this morning, precisely in the spot your mother indicated it would be." Rosa rose from her seat, retrieving an item from her bag. The book, aged and encased in tattered leather, held stories of the past. "Your grandmother was a remarkable woman," she said, handing over the diary, "and I believe it's time for you to uncover the whole truth." As Mariana delicately opened the diary, her hands quivered with anticipation. The initial lines whisked her away to a history she had never experienced. "Whoever stumbles upon this diary, our family carries a blessing that has morphed into a curse. We stand as sentinels, safeguarding the wandering spirits. In every generation, a soul emerges with the ability to perceive the suffering of others, to mend shattered hearts. Yet, this blessing carries a cost. The very sensitivity that enables us to empathize with the suffering of others simultaneously exposes us to an affliction that ravages our physical being yet fortifies our spirit." The subsequent pages unfolded a remarkable tale of resilient women who, through the ages, devoted their own well-being to support those around them. Yet, they also conveyed a sense of optimism, a remedy rooted in age-old healing wisdom, refined over countless generations. "The experimental treatment that is working," Pablo murmured, glancing at Mariana's notes with keen interest. "The primary elements are precisely those that your grandmother refers to in her notes." "It can't be," Beatriz murmured. "No," Rosa interjected. "Your mother was aware, Mariana. I was confident that Pablo would return to your life. The solution you sought was already available. We simply required an individual equipped with the necessary resources to fully realize it." Mariana immersed herself in the pages, uncovering the legacy of her family, where each woman had shared her insights, remedies, and aspirations for those who would come after. Rosa spoke gently, "Your mother made the final entry." On the night Pablo arrived at the cafeteria, Mariana flipped to the final page, where her mother's letter, frail yet resolute, addressed her beloved daughter. "This evening, I have glimpsed what lies ahead, and it shines with promise. The individual you rescued will share our insights with a world that has always felt out of reach. Contemporary knowledge will at last converge with our timeless insights, and you, my Mariana, shall serve as the link connecting these two realms. Embrace the destiny that lies ahead of you. The offering you possess is not a burden. This is a crucial element that will unlock pathways that have remained shut for ages. In moments when the shadows grow heavier, hold on to the truth that you are never truly alone. Affection, in every manifestation, serves as the strongest remedy." Mariana's face was streaked with tears as she folded the newspaper shut. Pablo, Beatriz, and Rosa wrapped their arms around her in silence, each absorbing the revelations in their unique manner. Pablo commenced the treatment. "I could assist others," Beatriz concluded, grasping the significance of their findings. "It's what your mother would have wished for," Rosa said gently. Mariana nodded, sensing that at last, after a long time, everything started to come together. Her ability to assist others was no mere chance, it was a testament to her enduring legacy. At long last, due to a carefully orchestrated sequence of events set in motion by her mother long ago, that legacy was poised to touch the lives of all those who required it. The evening descended upon the garden, the stars gleaming with an extraordinary brilliance. In the distance, the laughter of Felipe and Ana echoed as they played, unaware of the profound mysteries that unfolded around them. Mariana clutched the newspaper to her chest, sensing the legacy of resilient women who had come before her. The circle had not merely closed, it had grown, transforming into something far grander than anyone could have envisioned. As Mariana gazed at her new family, a sense of certainty washed over her, her mother's words echoed true. Affection, in every manifestation, was undeniably the most potent remedy. The aged cafeteria loomed before them, its weathered walls concealing the whispers of countless generations. Pablo honored his promise. The location was precisely as Mariana recalled, albeit cloaked in a delicate veil of dust that time had settled upon the furnishings and exhibits. Mariana moved forward with deliberate slowness, each step echoing in the stillness around her. Her fingers grazed the weathered bar, a silent witness to countless cups of chocolate that had offered solace to wandering spirits. Beatriz trailed behind her, while Rosa lingered at the entrance, her eyes glistening with memories. "Here," said Mariana, pausing before a particular table, "this is where it all began." Pablo drew near, recalling the spot where he had lingered during that stormy evening. In that specific corner of the cafeteria, it felt as though time had come to a standstill. "I have a proposal," Pablo declared, his voice brimming with emotion. "I aim to rejuvenate this space, but my vision extends beyond just a cafeteria, I aspire to transform it into something greater." All eyes were drawn to him, curiosity piqued. "The diary of your grandmother, Mariana, along with the treatment that is benefiting you, must not stay confined within our family. Your mother was correct, you serve as a connection between two realms, and this location can act as the convergence point." Beatriz moved forward, grasping her husband's vision. A research and treatment center could be established, blending contemporary medical practices with the time-honored knowledge passed down through your family. Rosa added that the cafeteria would continue to be a sanctuary, a place where individuals can discover not just medical assistance, but also the genuine warmth that has always defined this environment. Mariana settled into the worn chair, her mind swirling with endless possibilities. Her gaze swept across the space, perceiving not just what had existed, but also what might emerge. Pablo said, pulling out some documents from his briefcase, "There is something else. I have been conducting an inquiry. Many families share this experience. Many women and families have experienced similar situations. Some have crafted their own solutions, their unique methods for conquering the illness. What was your experience in discovering them?" inquired Mariana, taken aback. Beatriz responded, "Miguel has been relentless. Ever since we discovered the diary, he has been searching for patterns and connections. The narratives bear an astonishing resemblance. Individuals endowed with a unique ability to assist others, all ultimately impacted by the same illness." Rosa moved toward a window, brushing away the dust with her hand. "Your mother often remarked that coincidences are merely illusions, masking the unseen connections that bring people together when they are meant to cross paths." Just then, the cafeteria door swung open, revealing Miguel alongside an older woman. Her presence exuded a calm grace, and her eyes, though weary, sparkled with timeless insight. "Mariana," Miguel said. "Allow me to present Isabel. She resembles you." Isabel moved forward with deliberate steps, her gaze locked onto Mariana. "After a long wait, I finally get to meet you," I said softly. "Your mother and I exchanged letters with one another. She was aware of the presence of others like us, yet during her era, it was perilous to convene." "What's stopping us?" inquired Beatriz. "Not everyone appreciates our talent," Isabel remarked. "Historically, women such as ourselves faced persecution, often being labeled as witches or deemed insane. We were compelled to conceal, safeguarding our truths within diaries and the hushed exchanges from mother to daughter. However, things have changed now, Pablo remarked. We possess the power of science in our favor. We can demonstrate that their actions and existence hold authenticity and significance. Isabel approached the bar of the cafeteria with a smile. This location has consistently exuded a unique vibe. Even now, forsaken, I can sense the reverberations of all the souls that were impacted here. It is not abandoned, Mariana corrected, rising with a surge of renewed energy. She has merely been in a state of anticipation. Anticipating this, for us, for this very moment. The subsequent days unfolded in a flurry of bustling events. Pablo assembled his entire legal and financial team to focus on the project. Designers were engaged to transform the structure while maintaining its core character. Medical researchers initiated an examination of Mariana's grandmother's diary, linking her insights with contemporary scientific understanding. Yet, what was truly remarkable was the way the news circulated among women like Isabel. One by one, they started to come, each carrying their unique tales, their own insights. It felt like we were crafting a tapestry, Beatriz remarked one afternoon, as she observed a circle of women exchanging their stories and partially restored a network of healing and hope. Mariana, growing more resilient with each passing day due to her treatment, dedicated hours to absorbing the narratives of these women. Every individual had discovered her unique method of harnessing her talent, and each had borne the consequences of that choice. Felipe and Ana were now essential to the project. Ana, in particular, appeared to possess a unique talent that the women seemed to share. They observed her engaging with guests, presenting a cookie or a smile precisely when it was most needed. It's simply remarkable, Rosa remarked one afternoon as she crafted a new hot chocolate recipe. Your mother envisioned this, Mariana, Pablo said, a place where our gift is not a burden, but a treasure to be shared, explored, and safeguarded. That's why I created a foundation, to make sure that knowledge and treatments are available to everyone who needs them. As the renovation unfolded, the space started to reveal its new identity. The ground floor would continue to serve as a cafeteria, preserving the essence of solace and warmth that she had always cherished. The second floor would transform into a hub for research and treatment, where contemporary medical practices and age-old wisdom would collaborate seamlessly. One afternoon, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Mariana discovered Beatriz sitting by herself in the cafeteria, gazing out the window. What thoughts are occupying your mind? Mariana inquired. What causes life to change direction? Beatriz responded. When you showed up at the airport, a wave of fear washed over me, a fear of losing you to Pablo, a fear of the connection between you two that I could never quite grasp. But now, we are family, Mariana added, in a way that none of us could have ever envisioned. Beatriz nodded, clasping Mariana's hand in hers. Moreover, we belong to a greater narrative that transcends our individual existence. From the window, they observed Pablo engaging with the children in the square outside the cafeteria. Miguel sat on a nearby bench, poring over documents with Isabel. Rosa oversaw the installation of the new kitchen, emphasizing that every detail needed to be flawless. Your mother would be proud, Beatriz said gently. She is, Mariana responded, a profound conviction swelling within her heart. In a certain sense, she had an inkling that everything would unfold this way, not just my recovery, but all of this. A gathering of women, blending tradition with innovation, forging a space where our talents can truly be recognized and honored. The setting sun enveloped the cafeteria in a warm, golden glow, and for a fleeting moment, Mariana glimpsed the space through her mother's visionary eyes. A beacon of optimism, a connection across realms, a sanctuary where affection and restoration poured forth effortlessly like warm cocoa on a chilly evening. The narrative had not reached its conclusion, rather, it was merely embarking on its journey. In that moment, enveloped by her chosen family and linked with other women who possessed the same talent, Mariana felt a profound certainty that any obstacle ahead could be confronted collectively. The newly unveiled cafeteria, a sanctuary, glimmered in the embrace of the morning sun. The freshly painted walls retained the warm hues that Mariana cherished from her childhood, yet now everything appeared revitalized, brimming with vitality and optimism. The comforting scent of hot chocolate intertwined with the fragrance of warm, freshly baked bread, as Rosa tended to the kitchen with her usual affection. The day of the official inauguration had arrived, even though the venue had been operating informally for weeks prior. The tables were filled with a fascinating blend of individuals, doctors engaging in conversation with traditional healers, researchers exchanging insights with elders who held ancestral wisdom, and, naturally, everyday folks seeking a brief respite with a warm cup of hot chocolate. Mariana, fully restored due to the blend of her family's insights and contemporary medical practices, glided effortlessly among the tables with an innate elegance. Her ability to see the suffering in others' eyes had not faded, instead, it had deepened alongside her own journey of healing. "Do you recall the moment our paths first crossed?" Pablo approached, 2 cups of chocolate in hand, right at this table. "How could I possibly let it slip from my mind?" Mariana responded, taking one of the cups, though I sensed that the chocolate had a different flavor that day. "It was excessively bitter," Pablo smiled. In that instant, akin to the essence of my being, Beatriz stepped forward, grasping Anna's hand. The girl had forged a unique bond with the location and the women who frequented it, revealing early indications of the same talent that flowed through Mariana's lineage. "I shared what occurred this morning," Beatriz remarked, taking a seat beside them. Anna understood precisely how to comfort a woman who appeared deeply sorrowful. She presented her with a drawing, conveying that her son had forgiven her. "How did you come to know that, my dear?" Mariana inquired softly. Anna lifted her shoulders in a casual gesture. "I was aware of it, as one often is, Aunt Mariana. Isabel, having been attentive from the table alongside you, came over with a warm, recognizable smile. The expression of the gift varies across generations. Some of us convey it through touch, while others articulate it through words or food. This little one appears to possess a remarkable talent for unfiltered honesty." Miguel, freshly arrived with a stack of documents tucked under his arm, seamlessly integrated into the discussion. "Findings from the most recent inquiries are truly remarkable. The treatment we crafted from your grandmother's diary, Mariana, is not only aiding other women facing the same condition, but we are also uncovering unexpected applications." "Your mother was right," Rosa said, moving closer to fill the chocolate cups. "This establishment transcends the boundaries of a mere cafeteria or treatment center. This serves as a connection across realms, spanning ages and diverse methods of restoration." In that instant, Felipe burst in, brimming with enthusiasm. "Hey Mom, Dad, you really need to check this out." The crowd trailed behind the boy, making their way to the square that lay before the cafeteria. An elderly woman was carefully planting a small tree. It marked the beginning of a series, each one symbolizing a healing woman discovered through Miguel's diligent research. "It stands as a symbol of hope," the elderly woman conveyed, her tone rich with insight. "With each new healer that comes to light, we shall plant another. As the roots weave together beneath the surface, our talents will intertwine, growing ever more powerful." Mariana took in the scene, sensing a profound bond with the women who had come before her and those who would follow in their footsteps. The once dreaded gift now blossomed vibrantly, reshaping not just personal journeys, but also the fabric of whole communities. "Are you aware of what is truly captivating about all of this?" Beatriz said, grasping Mariana's hand. "It all started with a selfless act of affection. A mother spotted a wandering soul and dispatched her daughter to rescue him, uncertain of the method, yet believing that love would guide the path. And it discovered it," added Pablo, enveloping his family in ways that none of us could have envisioned. As the afternoon wore on, the cafeteria became increasingly crowded. Individuals from diverse backgrounds arrived at the sanctuary, some in search of restoration, while others sought merely a fleeting moment of tranquility. The scent of Rosa's exquisite chocolate wafted through the atmosphere, intertwining with the sounds of laughter and lively discussions. In a serene nook, Mariana discovered a fleeting moment of solitude. She opened her grandmother's old diary and penned her own entry, "Dear Mother, Grandmother, and all those who preceded us." The journey they initiated has transformed into an endless loop of affection and restoration. We stand together now, no longer in the shadows. The present they bestowed upon us is not a weight, but a true offering. At last, we are ready to unveil it to the world. As you always said, Mother, love is the most potent remedy. Every day, I witness the warmth in this place, Pablo and Beatriz generously sharing their hearts and resources to uplift others, Rosa crafting chocolate with unwavering love, Anna's compassionate gaze as she comforts those in need, and Miguel's relentless dedication to connect with others like us. We serve as a connection, indeed, yet we also embody a sanctuary, a haven for wandering spirits and mended hearts. As the sun dips below the horizon in our small slice of existence, I feel a sense of anticipation, for this marks merely the start. Each cup of chocolate, every gentle word, and every act of kindness sends ripples that reach far beyond our immediate view. I appreciate your guidance. I assure you that it will remain accessible for those who arrive afterward. With a gentle sigh, Mariana shut the diary and surveyed her surroundings. Pablo and Beatriz swayed gently in a secluded corner, as the children frolicked beneath Rosa's tender watchfulness. Miguel and Isabel exchanged thoughts on the latest revelations regarding the show, while a steady stream of visitors came and went, each one taking a piece of the enchantment with them. A sense of boundless potential lingered in the atmosphere, suggesting that with ample love and comprehension, anything could find its way to healing. The kiss that initiated it all had become a tale woven into the fabric of whispered legends among frequent patrons, recounting the story of a woman who rescued a man with a cup of chocolate, and how that singular gesture of compassion ignited a movement of love and restoration. As the sun dipped below the horizon of the sanctuary, Mariana understood that certain tales remain forever unfinished. They effortlessly persist, moving from one heart to another, transcending generations, crafting an endless tapestry of love, hope, and boundless possibilities. And thus, we conclude our tale for today, dear companions. Before we part ways, I seek your assistance in ensuring this stream of narratives continues to thrive. If this narrative has touched your heart, sparked your imagination, or brought you joy, feel free to show your appreciation by liking this video. It's as simple as a click, yet it holds immense significance for us. Are you interested in more tales like this? Consider subscribing to Stories Without Filter. And remember to turn on the notifications so you won't miss any of our exciting new journeys. Keep in mind, there's a fresh video for you every single day. Pass this video along to your friends and family. Who knows, you might be motivating someone to create a meaningful impact in the world. We invite you to share your thoughts on which part of the story resonated with you the deepest. Your thoughts and insights are truly valued, and we cherish the opportunity to engage with you. And if you're viewing this on your mobile device, be sure to tap that excitement button. Share your passion and assist us in connecting with a wider audience through these uplifting narratives. We appreciate your involvement in our Stories Without Filter community. Your support is as vital as a refreshing stream. Crucial and invigorating. Before you leave, be sure to check out the video that's currently playing on the screen. This is yet another captivating tale that you definitely won't want to overlook. Catch you tomorrow with a tale that will take your breath away. Until then, continue to evolve and make an impact, one drop at a time.